As the sun lowered into the horizon, Jesus raised his hand not in force, but in peace. The crowd obeyed without a word, hearts full, footsteps slow, knowing they had encountered something holy. Along the shore, the disciples worked in silence. Ropes tightened, sails adjusted. They did not yet know the night would test everything they believed. When the people were gone, Jesus turned away from the noise of men and walked alone toward the mountain, where only prayer and the presence of God remained. Night fell. The boat drifted far from land, surrounded by water on every side, with no sign of help and no sight of shore. Then the wind rose, stronger, louder, unforgiving. The sea no longer obeyed the hands that once knew it well. Fear entered the boat. Strong men cried out. Faith was tested where experience could no longer save them. In the darkest hour of the night, Jesus came not by boat, not by path, but walking upon the very waters that threatened them. Through the rain and crashing waves, the disciples saw a figure approaching, and moved by the storm, terror seized them. Their fear spoke louder than their faith. They cried out, believing hope itself had become a threat. But above the storm, his voice rose steady and sure. Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid. Peter stepped forward, caught between doubt and desire. If it is you, Lord, tell me to come. One word. No explanation, no guarantee, only an invitation. Come. Peter obeyed. His foot touched the impossible, and the impossible held him. Step by step, faith carried him forward. The storm remained, but it had no power, as long as his eyes stayed on Jesus. But then he looked away, at the wind, at the waves, at the fear he forgot to leave behind. Faith weakened, fear returned, and the water that once held him began to pull him under. Lord, save me. Not a speech, not a prayer, just surrender. Immediately, Jesus reached out. Faith may falter, but grace never arrives late. Together, they returned to the boat, fear in pieces, faith reborn. The wind fell silent, the waves obeyed. Creation recognized its creator. The disciples knelt not because they were told, but because truth stood before them. Truly, you are the Son of God. And the sea rested under the stars, as faith found its place, not in the absence of storms, but in the presence of Christ.